This is World Report. Good morning. It is Wednesday, May 19th. From CBC News, I'm Neil Köksal.
I feel every day like I'm failing him as a parent.
Ashley Gibson-Taylor's 6-year-old son has special needs. She says he was making strides in his special education class until the pandemic forced schools in Sudbury to close.
We saw about a year worth of regression within the first 2 weeks of him being home.
About 9,000 educators responded to a CBC News questionnaire as part of our Schools Under Stress series, and more than 2/3 of them say they worry some students will not catch up academically. Lisa Orsini is an education assistant.
That will affect their self-esteem and the gap in where they feel that they can go.
Students in Alberta could be back in the classroom as early as next week. The province is still dealing with overwhelmed intensive care units, though. More than 180 COVID-19 patients are in its ICUs right now, but the number of new cases has fallen sharply in recent days, and more than half of Albertans aged 12 and older have now received at least one dose of a vaccine. Aaron Collins has that story.
Carter Ingerfield is doing his best to fill his days.
I find a bunch of pieces of wood, and I'm just trying to figure out how to make a little wooden bike jump to help entertain myself.
But the grade 4 student from Calgary would rather be in school.
I prefer in-person school because normally, like for recess, I get to play with my friends and have fun and everything.
Students have been out of school since early May in Alberta, but the government says it's committed to getting them back next week, something the province's chief medical officer of health says is safe.
I don't believe there to be a public health risk in bringing children back to school.
And Dr. Dina Hinshaw says opening schools shouldn't cause more spread of the virus.
Schools have never been a predominant driver of transmission within the community.
Well, that may be, but opposition education critic Sarah Hoffman says that the government needs to make a decision soon.
We should not force parents, staff, and students to wait until the last minute to learn about their plans for back to school.
As for Carter Ingerfield, he'll keep right on learning even as he waits to find out if he'll be heading back to class.
Not the right angle, but it's always good to keep trying.
Aaron Collins, CBC News, Calgary.